Flattery. Flattery is often used disingenuously as a tool to gain emotional leverage. Unlike a compliment, with flattery, there is often an expectation of getting something in return. For instance, someone who wants a raise or promotion might regularly praise their manager's strengths and accomplishments. This is probably the easiest manipulation technique, so if you are looking to become a dangerous demon, this is a great place to start. Pity plays, also known as playing the victim, or as you might know it,
"After all I've done for you, this is how you repay me."
Pity plays are a manipulative tactic where a person portrays themselves as a victim or an innocent sufferer in order to gain compassion, help, or forgiveness from others. In the workplace, a colleague might use a pity play by frequently sharing intimate personal problems to win extra help from others or extensions on deadlines. Name-calling. Name-calling is used to undermine someone's self-esteem or to provoke them emotionally. Unlike constructive criticism, name-calling is designed to belittle and demean, casting a negative light on someone's appearance, character, or abilities in order to drive attention away from the real problem. This might be the funniest manipulation technique depending on your creativity. Still don't use it though? Withholding. Withholding is a subtle yet effective manipulation tactic where someone deliberately stops providing emotional, physical, or economical support as a means of gaining control or delivering punishment. For instance, in a romantic relationship, one partner might withhold affection, refusing to kiss, hug, or engage in conversation as a form of punishment or to force a particular behavior from the other partner. Projection. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where a person unconsciously attributes their own unacceptable feelings, thoughts, or traits to another person. This not only allows them to deny the existence of these qualities in themselves, but also to blame others for them, often leading to misunderstandings and conflict. For example, someone who is unfaithful might accuse their partner of cheating without any real evidence. This shifts the focus from their own guilt to their partner's supposed infidelity. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a manipulation tactic where someone tries to induce a sense of guilt in another person in order to influence their behavior. This can involve emphasizing the effort they put into something or the grievances they have suffered, overstating how much they've been let down, or making someone feel responsible for their unhappiness. For example, a friend might say, "I've helped you with a lot and you won't do this for me?" This plays on the recipient's sense of obligation and sympathy to get them to comply with something they did not originally choose. Blame shifting. Blame shifting is a manipulative tactic where a person avoids accountability by redirecting the blame onto someone else. This not only helps them evade responsibility, but also puts the other person on the defensive, often catching them off guard and making them feel unjustly at fault. For instance, if a project at work fails, a colleague might point fingers at others saying, "It's not my fault the project tanked, you didn't do your part well." Of course, laying the blame where it truly belongs, on others. Silent treatment. Silent treatment is a manipulation tactic where someone abruptly stops communication, creating an emotional distance intended to control or punish the other person. This lack of response can make the recipient feel desperate for a resolution, often leading them to make emotional decisions. Ghosting is the most recent adaptation of the silent treatment. One partner in the relationship suddenly stops responding in every social media platform, aiming to gain control over the victim's actions, compelling the victim to apologize or concede, even if they are not at fault. So here's exactly what a person using the silent treatment would say. Love bombing. Love bombing is a manipulation tactic characterized by excessive displays of affection and attention. It's used to gain control or affection quickly, often overwhelming the recipient into a state of emotional dependency. For example, someone in a new relationship might shower their partner with gifts, compliments, and constant communication early on. This can make the other person feel special and loved, but the intensity is often a setup for emotional manipulation, where the love bomber can later exert control. This one is really useful if you want to start a long-term relationship. I mean, manipulation is wrong. Triangulation. Triangulation is a manipulation tactic where a manipulator uses a third person, a pet, or an object to control or influence a relationship. By introducing another party into the dynamic, the manipulator creates insecurity, jealousy, or confusion, which they can exploit to their advantage. For instance, in a toxic family environment, a father might privately tell brother 1 that he is less competent than brother 2, and then separately tell brother 2 the same thing about brother 1. This can lead to mistrust and rivalry between the two, allowing the father to maintain control and play the role of the mediator. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a cunning manipulation tactic where a manipulator attempts to make someone question their own reality, memory, or perceptions. This can destabilize the victim and make them more dependent on the manipulator, making the latter slowly become the only source of the truth for the victim. For example, someone might constantly deny that certain events occurred or dismiss the feelings as irrational, saying things like, "You're imagining things, that never happened," or inventing something really weird to confuse the other person. On a different topic, this video auto-subscribes you to the channel, but if it hasn't, there might be something really wrong with your computer, so be careful. Grooming. Grooming, like love bombing, involves deliberate but fake generosity and attention. However, grooming is far more insidious and generally more strategic and long-term oriented, focusing on building deep trust and emotional dependency for eventual exploitation, often in more harmful or abusive ways. For example, in an office, a top executive might groom a new accountant by assigning him tasks that convey exclusivity and trust, along with special perks. Over time, the executive uses this leverage to isolate the accountant, slowly involving him in dubious operations. The accountant, feeling in debt due to the trust and perks he has previously received, eventually feels compelled to assist in activities he would normally avoid, as they might be kind of illegal. Anyways, all this knowledge is gonna cause you a subscribe and smashing the like button, thank you very much. And if you've made it this far without getting tangled up in my accent, feel free to tip with a little comment down there.